Let's start with a full body mobility drill starting in a push-up position. So we have our hands underneath the shoulders. We're gonna engage the glutes and just come up into this push-up position. From here, we will bring one foot forward, ideally in line with our hands. If you're a little less mobile, it's gonna be a little further back. And then we're gonna elevate the same side hand up towards the ceiling, tracking the fingertips with our eyeballs. From here, we bring the elbow down on the inside of that front foot, down towards the ground. As we do that, we're driving that front knee out and we keep the rear knee off the ground and the leg extended. And then we're just going to go back and forth here. We're going to do this on both sides. So you also step back and bring the other side forward. Do the same thing here. For the next mobility drill, we will come down into a deep squat, but two things are a little different to a normal squat. You can raise your heels off the ground with this one, and you can also round your back. We're not carrying any load, so we don't have to keep our spine straight and neutral. So what we're going to do is you're gonna place one foot flat on the ground. On the other foot, you get onto your toes or your front foot. And you see how my hip is shifting over so that my hamstring comes down towards the calf here. And then as I do this, I'm gonna place my elbows on the inside of the knees. I'm gonna connect my hands, drive the knees out, and I'm just gonna shift from one side to the other. So you see that I'm bringing one heel down, lifting the other heel off the ground, and then I shift over, bring this heel off the ground, bring that foot down towards the ground. You can just shift left and right, and as you do this, you're driving your knees apart. We're really opening up the hips here. We're also mobilizing the ankles. We're basically mobilizing and opening up the whole lower body. We stay down here on the ground. For this drill, I want you to get into a 90-90 position. So 90 degree in this knee, 90 degree in the hips, 90 degree in the other knee. From here, I'm going to try to bring my hips up. It can make it a little bit easier if you bring those heels and knees, everything a little bit closer together. But I'm gonna try it out here. I'll try this without my hands. If you need to assist with your hands, you can do that. I'm gonna extend my hip up, really extend the hips and squeeze. Come back down, glue the heels into the ground, transition over to the other side. Do the same thing here. Up we go, down, over to the other side, and up again. Just going back and forth here, warming up and mobilizing the hips. You should have opened up your hips by now, but there might be one part of the lower body that still feels a bit tense, and that is the hamstrings. They can get very tight with Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, so let's go and mobilize them a little bit. Just come onto your hands and your feet, walk your hands and your feet closer together so that the butt goes up into the air. And now all you do is extend one leg so that the heel comes down to the ground while you're bending the opposite leg, and you're just gonna go back and forth here. Heel to the ground, opposite knee bend, and then other heel to the ground, and again the opposite knee bend, and you just go back and forth, and you should feel a nice stretch through your hamstrings and your calves. We're gonna do this dynamically, and we're really gonna mobilize those calves and hamstrings. Let's also give a little bit of attention to that upper body. We don't want to be tight through the shoulders and the chest as we go into Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. We often spend a lot of time in this position anyway, so at least let's mobilize and open up before we get into training. What I want you to do is get on all fours into this quadruped position with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. From here, we are going to thread the needle, so we thread the arm through, reach as far as you can. As you do this, you see that compared to the world's greatest stretch that we did initially, your hips stay more square, more parallel to the ground, and we really focus on that thoracic rotation through the spine here. You thread the needle through, and then you pull the arm back out, and you're gonna open up again, tracking the fingertips with your eyes, and you just go back and forth here, and you will feel that it focuses a lot more on that shoulder blade area, the mid back, that you get a lot more mobility through your upper body. Obviously, again, you're gonna want to do this on both sides. These were my top 5 warm-up and mobility drills for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I'll be honest with you, the list could have been a lot longer, so if there are any body parts that you know need some extra attention, make sure to take your time to warm these up properly. If you found this video helpful, make sure you drop a like and comment, and let me know down below in the comments as well if you have any training, mobility, flexibility related questions specifically for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. If you don't want to miss out on future videos, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.